Hello YouTube! This is going to be another tutorial on the Brawl X clone engine. In a previous tutorial that this one is going to be replacing, I showed you guys how to replace character selection portraits and subsequently asked for anybody's help who could figure out how to get the CSS icons to work. Well, in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to actually add those icons and the character selection portraits. So this tutorial is going to assume that you already have a cloned character working and on your SD card, and that you know your way around the clone engine at least enough to get this done. If you're attempting this, you should probably know all of those things. If you don't, watch one of my other tutorials and try and get a good grasp and understanding on everything regarding the clone engine, or at least enough to where you think you can get this done. You're also going to need an sc select character.pack file. I'll include a stock one in the description that you can use, and I'm also probably going to include the one that I'm doing in this tutorial, the end result, so you can compare and see what we changed versus the stock, so you can try and get a good understanding of what you need to do to add more. Now, I have some textures already that I exported from the sc select character, but if you don't have these, you can export them from here as well, and when I'm going through the files, I'll show you what you can do and what files to export, and then you can edit them and just re-import them. Incidentally, I was doing this tutorial with a cloned Pikachu at first. That's why these say Pikachu and are pictures of Pikachu, but it's going to be a Mario. So if you're wondering why the announcer is going to say Mario when I select it, that's why. So the first thing we're going to want to do is open up sc select character.pack. Now, one thing that you guys need to know is that this file has a file size limit, and that is 3.79. The file comes with only 0.01 off of that file size limit. Now, that would be a problem. That would be a big problem for anybody trying to add icons into this, because basically anything you do to it is going to add one to it, and then it's not going to load. It has to be below 3.79, not 3.79 exact. It has to be below it. So interestingly enough, you can save 0.20 to 30 if you just change it from LZ77 to extended LZ77. Watch how much farther it gets compressed after I save it. 3.65. So in this time, it only compressed it by 10, but that's enough. That's enough to get a good amount of textures in. So now that we have the file open, go ahead and open charbust text LZ77. All of these numbers right here, misc data 10, misc data 9, those are the CSS cosmetic IDs. Pikachu's cosmetic ID is 7. So if you actually open up misc data 7, you'll see that these all have Pikachu's stuff. Pikachu's character selection portraits. So since we don't want to replace any, we want to add some, we gotta make a new one of these. So what you can do is right click on charbust text and click new BR resource pack. It's gonna come out misc data 90, and that's not, or misc data 0, and that's not gonna work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna name it 110, and that's to avoid any conflicts with any other IDs that are in the game. So just name it 110 in the file index up here. Change the compression to extended LZ77. That's really important. It will crash if this is not LZ77 or extended LZ77. Now just right click on your new slot and click import texture. Consequently, if you don't have a texture, or you do have a texture or what have you, just import it. If not, export it from one of these and edit it, or go find one online. Right click on misc data, the one you just made, and click import texture. Now I'm only going to import one, but there's one for each color that character has. So it's going to have to be named the same too as the other one. So men select character face B dot and then the number. This is where it really matters. The number really matters. So I'm going to import it. It's called 501 because I was messing with it earlier, but it's not going to be 501. Change this from C18 to CMPR. You see how it changes it from 28,000 bytes to 10,000 bytes? That almost halved it or more. That's really good. We want to save as much data as we can. So click OK, and it should import it. You're going to want to name it men cell char face b dot. Since this is MISC data 110, 110, 1 for color 1. So slot 110, color 1. And that'll be it for that. We don't have to do anything else for the character selection portrait. We do need to go to MISC data 70, and these are where the character select the CSS icons are. We need to add some to these, and the names also do matter here. It's in this one, it's not going to be 110 1. It's just going to be 110. So go ahead and get your texture however you want. You can export one, edit it, you get one online, do whatever. But when you import it, go ahead and click on the MISC data 70 and click import texture. There's going to be one for the name too. You're going to need one for the name, and it's the one that says men cell char NMS. There's a difference because this one, it goes in an area that's going to show up on your over your character selection portrait, while this one shows up normally over the character selection icon. So I'm going to go ahead and import this one because it'll crash even if we don't use it. Just go ahead and import it and hit recommend. It doesn't really matter. So click OK and rename this one to 110. Import your character selection icon now, which I have it labeled named Pikachu X, because again this was going to be a Pikachu, but I got lazy and didn't want to change it. So grab your icon, open it, change this to CMPR. It reduces the file size by, again, a lot. Pretty much halves it. And rename this one 110. We can go ahead and close MISC data 70 now. And now we need to open up MISC data 30. Don't get these, let these all confuse you. The only thing we need to edit is anim text pattern. So open up this, and you see where it says men cell char face A. Click on that one and open up face 2 and texture 0. You're going to see all of these familiar names. First of all of these character selection portrait faces, like the icons. We're going to need these. You're going to need to remember this directory. So go ahead and click on texture 0 and hit new entry. See this up here, frame index 501? That's because it is where this texture is located is slot 50. No, not slot 50. In MISC data 70, its texture is 50. So we need to change ours to 90, or actually at 110 on the one we just made. 110 and 1 for the color 1. Rename it. Right here actually is an easier way to rename it. Go ahead and click on, since we're doing the face, scroll up to the top and click one of these and rename it to 110, and that's it. You don't need to add a 1 to that one. Now open up face 6, texture 0, click on new entry and do the same thing, except for this time it's going to be the name. So change this to 110 1, and this one's going to be name. So click name and change this to 110 1. Or no, just 110, because that's what we named it. Now this part you cannot forget to do. It will bite you in the ass, and it took me a while to figure this out, even after Phantom Wings told me the new information on how to do this. Change this frame count to the last one you added, the last frame that you added, which was 110 1, to one above it. So instead of 110, 1, we're gonna say the frame count is 111, 1. So 4 ones. Now, in the past, when I was first messing around with this, I did all of these manually, every single one of them. But then I figured out you can just export this entire thing and then re-import it over all these other ones. You can right-click and say replace, or hit Control-R on your keyboard, select it, and press open. Now you can do that for all of them, all the way down to I. And that should fix any errors you're gonna come into contact with your CSS icons. Now, the next thing that I'm gonna do isn't absolutely necessary because I can't really get that to work yet, but you're gonna need to go to textures, and if you look in here, you'll see all the names of all the characters that pops up on their character selection portrait. I'm gonna go ahead and add one, even though I haven't figured out how to. You know what? Just forget all of this. It's not going to work. I'm just wasting my time showing it. If I figure out how to get it to work, I'll either write a tutorial or I'll make another video. And it might just end up being in the same video as the sound one that I might make. So make sure everything is perfectly set up. So go to charbus text LZ77. Make sure 110 is extended LZZ. In MISC data, make sure that anim text pattern is got these in there at 110. You know what? I'll be right back, guys. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Fucking groceries and food stamps and all that bullshit. Anyway, go ahead and go to your men, select, chair, all that shit. Make sure all of your textures are there. The game will crash if you don't have them there. And if everything's all finished and shit, fuck. Excuse my language. A little riled up right now. Then everything should go fine. Save it. Check your file size afterwards. If it's not above the file limit, then we can go ahead and, yeah, look, it barely even went up. And we added, what, 4 textures? I think it only went up by 0.1 megabytes. So go ahead and put this on your SD card. I'm again using WinImage and Dolphin. Go ahead and add that in. Save it. Now, I said before that I was going to assume that you had a clone already set up. Well, since you do have a clone set up, go into your BrawlX folder and get the cosmetic config for whatever character it is. Open it, and this entry right here at 10 0x10 00, so it's just offset 0x10, change it to the, since 110 is in decimal, we're gonna have to convert it to hex, so we're gonna have to change this number to the cosmetic ID. Now 00 is Mario's, since I'm doing this of a clone of Mario. Yours is gonna be different, don't worry about that. Just take the number that you added into your SC select character.pack and type it in your calculator. If you don't know how to get your calculator to look like this, click View, Programmer. In decimal, type in 110. Then click hex, 6E. Click right here at the beginning and type 6E. Save it and put it on your SD card. That should, I say should because I always have some form of problem when I'm doing these tutorials, should make it work. go ahead and look at the Dolphin log and see if it's loading the files. It is, so we don't have any. We know Brawl X is starting up. And it's starting. If all goes right, it shouldn't crash. And we should have our icon. There's our icon.
Mario!
There's our our character selection portrait. And that thing that says random right there is what would have been replaced if I knew how to do it, and if we added that texture and edited another part of the .pack file. But now, you'll see it says Mario, and has Pikachu's icon. Well, yeah, because I cloned Mario. There's some other stuff you need to do when it's using a different cosmetic slot, and I don't think that I can go over that, mainly because I don't have files in order to fix it. But this down here is gonna say Crazy Hand use 110, and the reason that is because we didn't set up the portrait to be working in your battle character selection portrait. You need to add something into info and portrait on your SD card. You can actually see Dolphin throwing a freaking bitch fit over here, and it's gonna keep on going. And if you end up getting into a sudden deathmatch without these files, it'll actually crash. But for what it's worth, CSS icon, character selection portraits, it's all working. When I do the next tutorial that I'm gonna do, that is probably gonna be on sound, I'll throw in the end, you guys can see the end of that, I will throw in how to put this stuff. Anyway, sorry for the interruption, but I'll see you guys in the next video.